So welcome to the Last Until Victory podcast, sponsored by, of course, LUV Nutrition. I'd like to welcome you to the show. This is Arron Runnacles, and this is called The Real Ironman. Now, Arron, it's an absolute pleasure. Of course, you're a good friend of mine. I know so much about you. I know your family. I've spent so much time about you, and it is, again, a pleasure to have you for the very, very first episode. So we've made a pact, we've spoke before, and we wanted to be very, very open and honest, and everything goes. What I didn't want to do is be here today and ask questions that Arron felt uncomfortable with. So we made a pact. We're going to be very, very upfront, very, very open. So Arron, I want to start from the very, very beginning, when you was a young child. So I want you to tell me a little bit about your life as a child. Tell me a little bit about your parents, your siblings, and where it all began.
Okay. Firstly, thank you for having me on here today as well, mate. It means a lot. So, I grew up I had a good family. I had a big family, 3 brothers, 3 sisters. My dad was a black cabbie for a long time. So my dad's a very, very, very tough loving, old school man, right? And I sort of, in my younger years, he was providing for 7 kids. So I wasn't able to, I didn't get to see him as much as I would have liked to, I think.
Of course.
And I was a very naughty child from a young age, naughty. But my parents were blinding. They couldn't have tried to do any more for us, you know? But yeah, my dad was sort of always working, trying to provide for us all. 7 kids, it's a lot to provide for. And my dad was straight. My dad wasn't a criminal. He was a naughty youngster growing up. He was a typical lad. He used to fight a lot. He was a scrapper. He loved to drink and fight, yeah? That was my dad's thing back in the day, yeah? Obviously, you know my dad. You've met him, you can imagine it. And then growing up, I was at school. I was in trouble young. At 5 years old, my mum come back from school and I was on the back doorstep. Mm-hmm. I jumped over the fence and ran home. Mm-hmm. And school was just an environment for me that was difficult. I had ADHD, so I was very lively as a kid. I was hard work for my old dear.
Super
with
lively.
My brothers as well, you know. And then, growing up, I was arrested my first time when I was 12. And then from there on in, from 12 to 14, I think I was arrested probably 8 times. Mm-hmm. First prison sentence, I was 15 years old. That was for Class A drugs.
So young.
I was actually honey trapped by very beautiful undercover women, 2 of them. And that was my weakness, I think. But they stung me quite well. It still is, yeah. Yeah, clip that. But yeah, no, so it was 2 very attractive women. I was 15. I thought I was a lad, you know. They got me good and proper, mate. And that was my first time that I went away.
To a young offenders jail?
I went to Runnacles. Okay. I went to Feltham initially. Mm-hmm. Shithole. Very, very, very rough old place that was.
And tell me a little bit about the environment that you was in there. Was it a tough environment?
Do you know what? I think the mindset I was in, I didn't know nothing then apart from, I was loose at that age, you know? Mm-hmm. Not like, I was just young and dumb. So I didn't really care for any of that. I just thought, that mindset I was in the age, I thought, I thought it was a cool thing, you know. I thought it was big and people are going to respect it. Stupid, you know, that young mindset, you know.
Foolishness.
Yeah, but it was eye-opening, but I was with a few lads that I'd been arrested with. It was a conspiracy.
Okay.
So there was a few of us I knew, and I got bail. So I was only actually in Feltham initially for, I think, 5 days. Then I was on bail for the whole period of the thing, and then I got sentenced and went to Runnacles. That was where I served my first sentence. Okay. Again, I went in there with a mindset, just thinking, I went in there thinking, right, just you've got to be the man to survive it, and it worked. Like the front of it actually did work, you know. But that's where I first found gym. Mm-hmm. So it's mad that from me going to prison, I was always into football. I was always into sports, but weights and gym, I'd never known about it. I went to young offenders at a 15-year-old, and that's where I found out, you know, you got gym every day there. Yes. To keep a young mind occupied and steady, That's gym is all you have there, right?
It's almost like a way out.
It's a release for men. Like, look, all that testosterone flying about, you're locking young men up that haven't even matured yet. You haven't got a clue. So gym is your release. And I put on 1.5 stone in them 4 months.
Of muscle?
Of muscle. There was probably a bit of puppy prison fat. You know how it comes. You know, that prison fat. We all have that prison fat.
But your body started to develop.
Yeah, but I really did put like 1.5 stone at that age. I come out, I felt pretty lumpy. I felt good.
Yes.
And from then on in, from that day till now, the gym has just been the biggest part of my life, you know? And it's helped me massively with a lot of stuff throughout my life. But
going back to
that was 15.
So going back to the gym.
Yeah.
You know, we look at the gym and people may look at it as a perception of being egotistical.
Yeah, nothing.
But they don't actually realise
what it can do for someone's mental health, mate.
Of mental well-being.
100%.
Of course.
And I mean,
so do you feel like that really helped you?
Huge, like massive. Like, I don't go to the gym for my looks at all. The looks of it, if it comes, brilliant. Okay, if you really want to dial into it.
And you're not good.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm just coming for the big man, you know. But if you really want to dial into it, cool. You can look good from doing it. But what it's done for me mentally, if I didn't have the gym, if I didn't go and train every day or go to the gym at least whatever it may be, I would fall off. My goals in everyday life, my relationships, my mental well-being would be fucked.
Yep.
The gym is the biggest supporter of that. If I'm ever having a bad minute, a bad moment, you can go to the gym, come out, you're a new man again,
I'm
right? And you, mate, you're fully, you know, you're more out of it more than anyone. You're fully aware
for
of
me,
it.
initially, it was the egotistical side.
Of course, it starts like that.
We didn't even train our legs. It was about how you looked at the t-shirt, your biceps, your big chest.
100%.
And then after time, as life humbles you,
exactly,
it's the mental well-being
side. And this is all part of development, right?
Of course.
Initially, we do something for one reason, and it's amazing when you get really deep into that, what you can learn from it, and what you can get out of it with a mature mindset. Different ball game, right?
Okay, so then you've been to jail. You was in Huntington. You've left Huntington.
Yeah.
You're about 1.5 stone heavier.
1.5 stone heavier. Long hair. I had rosary beads. You know that old
rosary beads. Yeah. And then tell me a little bit. Elaborate on what happened next.
So I came out. I was 16 when I came home. Still a very, very wild, very loose mindset of a 16-year-old who'd just done a stretch in prison, thinking he's the man. Thinking, I've been to prison. I'm the man. So I came out straight back to what I was doing before, if not even stronger. Carried on getting into trouble. I actually stayed out. I didn't get arrested for 5 years, but I was straight back to drug dealing straight away. Full-time drug dealing, as well as working. I was still an estate agent while I was selling drugs full-time, driving. So I had a delivery job.
You was the ultimate salesman. You was an estate agent.
I was selling houses in the day and cocaine at night. It was a good combination. Sometimes I was selling cocaine or doing cocaine at work.
Yep.
And you were taking
it?
I was taking cocaine. I had viewings in people's houses. Sorry, Connells, Watford. I apologise for this. Yeah, you probably knew anyway. They got me out. I'll tell you a story in a minute. They got me out. But I was having viewings. I'd do block viewings at these houses. And whilst waiting between the viewing, I'm on someone's table doing a line. Terrible. But I did have a problem with drugs when I was younger. Not an addict, but because I was selling it, if it was there, my enticing mind, I used to indulge in it, you know? And it's the worst drug in the world. Drugs entirely. But we had, where I was the estate agent, I had about 16 different house keys. I'd worked the weekend. I kept all the keys and just went home. So they're going back to the office to hand back the keys as you would. I've gone home, but I've left them in the car. So I went to a squat rave in Peckham. And I was drink driving, I was on drugs, whatever. We took a police chase through Peckham High Road. And I took chase, dumped the car. People were in the back, they smashed it. I got out and my friend jumped over the thing, but they seized the car. And my boss at the time had to lie to house vendors that there was something wrong with the access for the safe for the keys. 3 weeks we had to go together to the police station to get all the
So would you say at this current time, now reflecting back, that your life spiraling out of control? Was you out of control?
Yeah, I was well out of control. And my priorities and my values were just not in line with a normal life, you know? When you, looking back and the things that you think are relevant at that time, when you come out of it and you mature, you look back and think, what the fuck? But I get that young men, that like you have to grow up. Men make mistakes, women as well. This is not just about men.
I think mistakes sculpt you.
Mistakes sculpt you, and that's the whole point of what we're doing now, right? Yeah. Like we want to do more. We want to do better and give back to people in same positions, right? Yeah. And I think without them mistakes, you have to make mistakes to learn from things. Okay, some people take it to an extreme.
You wouldn't be the man that...
100%.
But at the same time, you can go the other way.
You can go the other way.
So what I just want to take you back again. Okay, I want to take you back again because I know your parents quite well. We spent some time in Spain recently. They renewed their vows. And outside looking in, they're amazing parents.
Yeah.
Yes, they like a beer.
Yeah.
Your mum likes some wine. and they like a bit of fun. Okay.
Yeah.
But they were great parents. They were good parents.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Your father was busy trying to provide.
Yeah.
Yes, there was lots of siblings, so your mum probably couldn't give everything to you because she had to divide that time between the 7 siblings. But they were good parents. So why do you think you went in the opposite direction to where your parents were?
Yeah.
That bit is difficult because what can happen in life is people either follow the pattern of their parents or they don't. But normally 80% of those people follow the pattern of their parents. So if the parents are say drug users, for example, alcoholics, for example, they may go that same way. You know, a large percentage of those will go that same way. But yours were good parents. So why did you not follow in their footsteps? Why is it that your life spiraled out of control and you found yourself in difficult situations, in prison, and your life, of course, was spiraling out of control?
For me, it was who I was hanging around with. It's the company that I kept, right?
That's important.
And this is why, for example, I was 15, younger. When I say, take it back even more, when I was 12, 13, my friends were 18, 20. I was knocking about with drug dealers at a very young age who got me into drugs. They saw whatever in me. I don't know what. Don't ask me because I couldn't tell you. To me, I was just a stupid young kid who thought he knew more than he did at the time, right? But I was probably, with my ADHD and stuff, I was probably braver than other kids my age maybe. But the people that I got involved with were all making money, selling drugs, doing drugs. Hence why I started drugs. I was smoking weed at 12, you know? Coke, probably 14, which is nuts, right?
Crazy.
But my parents didn't. So yeah, like what you were saying, I didn't follow in the footsteps of my family. I sort of just, I think a big part of your life is what you surround yourself with, right? Yeah. And I surrounded myself with negativity, crime, and older people.
Yeah.
So I followed that path. And like I said, my mum was this straight. When I come back stoned once, my mum thought I was on heroin. She didn't know what drugs were until they had me. My dad did. My dad, was old school. My mum had no idea about drugs or crime. She was straight. My dad was, like I said, a bit of a lad. But I think it's who you surround yourself with, and that's massive, right?
So how many times have you been to prison in total?
I've been three times. So
Wow.
The first time was a 15-year-old, and I was out for 5 years.
Yep. And
this is the worst one. I was out for 5 years. Then I went back in, I got 2-year, 4-month sentence. I was out for 5 weeks and then I got 6 years. So the 5 weeks I was out, I thought I'd learned, but I went straight back to the same shit.
So when did you decide to then turn your life around? So what was the point where you went, I think I've had enough of this?
That period, so me being out for 5 weeks, I had everything set. My partner had waited for me. I had somewhere to live. I had a job. I had everything set and put into place for me not to return there. But my actions, my mindset, I chose to go back down there for the easy life, the quick life. Yep. Yeah, I obviously wasn't prepared to put in the work, right? But I think what changed for me massively is obviously I had my son. Yeah, when I came out, I set up my own business anyway. I was already on the path, but I was still entertaining things I shouldn't have been. Basically, yeah. I had my son. And as you know, mate, you've got lovely children. You know for a fact, parenting, kids can change a lot about you, right? And they can give you a whole different lease on life. So I think that for me was a big turning point. And then I just wanted more from life. I was sick of it. Like, what a waste going in and out of prison is. We're capable of so much more. Do you know what I mean?
A waste of time.
It's a waste of time. You've got family out here that are suffering. Your family suffer with you when you do a prison sentence. You're not there on your own. You know that, right?
And that's it. So you've then decided that you want to turn your life around, And in fact, you want to be an Ironman. Now, firstly, what I want you to do is explain what an Ironman is, because not everybody listening to this will understand what an Ironman is. And it's not somebody off of the movies, of course.
Yeah, it's not the average dream tube. I'm not going to put on my suit, my Ironman suit. However, I did put on my boy put on the Ironman suit. I might wear one just for him. But so an Ironman is a full distance triathlon. When I say a full, you've got your Olympic, which is your standard size, but an Ironman is a 3-point, I'm going to say it twice in case I get it wrong. It's a 3.9k swim.
Wow.
It's the 3.8k swim, 180k bike, and then a marathon at the end of that. So that's back to back.
Back to back.
Can range from like these professionals, these madmen. Christian Bloomfeld, for example, he's taking the piss with his school. He's taking the piss with his times, right?
So it's one of those crazy
it's
challenges.
An endurance event, right?
Okay, of course,
go on,
both mentally and physically. But you could have chosen something a lot easier, a lot more simpler. You could have chose to play paddle. You could have just went to the gym and lift weights, or been a bodybuilder as I was.
Yeah.
But you've decided to go probably for the biggest, most testing sports that there is.
Yeah.
You know, the Ironman, I know is difficult. I know that up until recently as well, you could hardly swim, right? You could hardly run. You could hardly run. You could hardly bike.
Cardio wasn't there. You know,
nothing was there.
No.
But then you've decided to take on this huge challenge.
Can't swim, but yeah.
And you've literally transformed your life, and you've decided to go on this new chapter, this new journey. But why? Why?
I think so. I've done some cardio years back, but I think. Look, weights is one thing, right? Weights is the pillar.
But let's go back. Why the transition? So you've gone from you've gone from Okay, you've gone from villain to Ironman. Now I know you had a child.
Yes,
maybe that played a huge part. Yeah. But did you just suddenly wake up one day and go, do you know something? I want to change my life.
Yeah.
I want to take a new direction.
Yeah.
I want to take a new path. Yeah. And it starts with this.
Yeah. So, in a nutshell. I decided one day I needed more from life, but I've always needed a goal to strive for, and it's got to be something big. Like Kilimanjaro was last year. After I'd done Kilimanjaro, because I'd trained for that for 3 months, I was altitude training, I was out on a bike with this fucking mask on, I'm in the gym on a Stairmaster with this mask on, looking like a pleb, right?
Yep.
But after I'd done that, I came back down, I was flat. I can't describe it to you, but I felt flat. I just felt like I've got nothing to work for now. I've achieved that goal. So what I realised, if we set ourselves these mad challenges, because the body's capable of a lot more than we give it credit for, right?
Of course.
Like all these endurance events and stuff. But one key thing I realised, when you are taking part in these endurance events and all this training, the cardio, what you can discover about yourself in them dark places is powerful.
Okay.
And that's what I wanted to realise. I wanted to prove that we're capable of more, especially to my little son. I want to show him that we can do what we set our mind to.
And it's not just the physical challenge, it's the mental challenge.
Mental side of it.
The power to overcome, right?
It's when it comes to these sorts of events or this sort of training, it's all
and we've run a couple of half marathons together.
We've done a couple, my boy. We've done a couple. We enjoyed it, right?
We did.
And you're fucking very proud, mate. It was a proud moment.
Because you inspired me. Huh? You inspired me because you went on this journey.
Yeah.
And I actually transitioned into the endurance sector. Just compete at Affix at the weekend. Exactly. Was a huge challenge.
Smashed it, by the way. You haven't just taken part, you smashed it.
No, that's it. Absolutely. But that was because you inspired me to do more.
And that just goes to show, like that's really good for me to hear. I appreciate that, yeah? But even us taking part in that, mate, that meant a lot to me. Do you know what I mean? Where we were, like you said, I met you inside a prison wall, bro. And then we're now doing a long distance running event.
That's it.
But that just goes to show a lot of people that have been in bad places or we've had trauma or whatever, to go from that to then take on these challenges. It's because I think it's a good outlet for people to be able to try and...
That's it. And I've got a quick question for you, because there's lots of podcasts out there and people glamorise crime and they glamorise prison. I want to know what your thoughts on that are. So tell me about prison yourself. Are you proud of that? Is it something that makes you strong? Is it something that makes you a man? Is it something that to brag about? Is it something big? And I just want your honest opinion.
So prison is a mug's game, my friend. Yeah. So there's nothing to glamorise about prison. I wouldn't say I regret it, because if I hadn't have been through all of that part of my life, I wouldn't be who I am today. I would not. I think experience can make you or break you, right?
Right.
And I've managed to channel that experience into something positive now. And obviously now I'm giving back, working with the youth justice system.
Wow.
So I wouldn't say I'm proud of it, because part of me wishes I didn't put other people through that. But I certainly I wouldn't change it now. You know, there is nothing special or important about going to prison. Going there means you failed, really, because you've done something you shouldn't have.
Yeah.
But it can make the best people at the same time.
But it can also break people,
But
right?
it can also break people. We've seen, mate, how many bad things have you seen in there?
Of course,
you know?
and of course you can repeat that process.
You can repeat it. Like,
and
look, I was on repeat for a long time.
It's a cycle,
You know,
right?
and look, if I hadn't have chosen to change it, I would have, who knows where I would have ended up.
You broke the cycle.
I broke the cycle.
You broke the cycle.
And it's not easy. I'm not saying that that's easy for people, but it can be done, right? As long as you find something, your why, as long as you've got your why and your purpose, you're more than capable of change, you know? So
for those young teens, children that watch social media and trap and whatever, and they see this glamorized side of going to jail, just in a few words, can you explain to those people why it isn't? There's nothing glamorous about it. That isn't the life. Can you just, in a few words, if you can?
Look, essentially, like, as a young man going to prison, you're going to waste valuable years of your life. They say when you go to prison, say, for example, you go into prison as a 16-year-old man and you serve 3 years, you come out at 19. You don't mature in them years, they reckon, because you're within an environment that's just a balloon, right? There's nothing else going on apart from them prison wall. So you're wasting valuable years. You're wasting the opportunity to build on your goals, to build yourself, to build a brand for yourself, whatever it is you want to achieve.
Yeah.
You're just sat there wasting valuable years. So there's nothing about it that's worth it. And people can break that cycle. You just need to find something that's going to...
But even more so, you know, you come out of jail, people look at your criminal record, they do your checks when you go for a job. And a large percentage of people that have been to jail can't find employment.
That's correct, right?
They can't find employment.
Yeah, you will struggle to find employment. And nowadays, employers have, what's the word for it?
You see, like the CBR check, the criminal CRB check.
I'm going to say employers have a choice of people that they can employ, right?
Of course, yeah.
And for certain roles, you get an enhanced CRB. I've been knocked back for certain roles because of that myself, which is why I started my own business. But I'm fortunate to do that. In fact, everybody can go and start their business.
And this is a really important thing, and I'm just going to take over for a second. Yeah. Every single man that has gone to jail young for killing somebody, normally the guys in London have stabbed somebody, you know, big at the time, part of a gang, ended up stabbing somebody, lost their life to a life in jail, lost the other person's life because they're no longer with us. You know, every single man that sits in that jail, spending 10, 15, 20 years, regrets what they did. They regret
100%,
the life they chose. They regret
hindsight's
what they did.
Thing,
they regret
right?
the unhappiness that they caused for the family. Those young men, every single one of them, regret everything that happened at that stage in their life. So anybody watching this or listening to this, and if you are part of something, remember what I'm saying. Every single man that sits in that jail cell regrets what happened.
Absolutely, yeah.
What happens, and that's I think that's a big important thing.
That's
right,
true.
Cool. So tell me now. Let's move on to the Ironman situation, because again, you've chosen a massive challenge. You know, it's not like just a swim or a run or a charity boxing match or a race or whatever. You know, you're going after this big event. When is the date? When's your first Ironman?
So I'm starting with a 70.3, which is a half Ironman. It's still 1.9k swim, 90k bike, half marathon. So it's still a feat, right? But it's not the full. But I'll get the half boxed off and see if I'm capable, right? See if I think, fuck that, I'm done with it. But for me, so I'm 12 weeks out now from Tallinn, and I'm buzzing for it. I'm looking forward to it. I feel good, but I've still got...
How's your training?
Training's going really well. I've had an injury, which is unavoidable. I think that territory you're in, you're going to pick up niggles, right? But my swim, I fucking hate swimming.
So tell me about your daily training. Tell me what you do in a day.
I'm doing I'm training twice a day, most days.
Yep.
It's normally 3 swims, 3 cycles, 3 runs, and 3 weights.
Wow.
And obviously, mixed up within the cycle and the runs, you're doing an interval session. Typically, Saturday is a long ride. So this Saturday, I've got a 3-hour ride to do.
Yep.
Sunday, I've got, I think, 16K run, but whatever it is. So, and it's built up. So now I'm now the numbers I'm at. Yeah, the training is going well. But what I've found out about, it's mad because I think until you get involved in these things, there's a lot you don't learn about yourself until you're in the situation, right? Once I started this training, I've always known, like I've done a program, Andy Frisella, you might have heard of him, 75 Hard, right?
Yes, right.
I've done that 3 times.
Yep.
Every time I've done this, and it's quite, that there in itself is quite a task. It, literally no sugar, whatever, but people can look it up, 75 Hard. I'm sure people would have heard of it. But 3 times I've done that. And every time I've had something to work towards, I think I just function better as a person. Maybe that shows something about myself or what we are. Like yourself, you're doing this AFEX Games now, you've qualified for the world. You need to have these goals in place to function properly, right?
Course, most definitely.
Take that whatever way you will, but I've learned that about myself from this training, that I certainly need something to work with. And the best thing for me...
So you need structure.
I need structure.
Structure gives you stability,
100%. Right? And being able to... Like, it's a lot. Some weeks are fucking hard. Like, working... I've got a physical job, so I'm working physically, as well as training twice. You have
your own company. You're a parent as well.
Yeah, sorry?
And you're a parent, of course.
Mate, I've got a 6-year-old son. I see a few times a week, you know, and I've got my own business full-time. I'm taking calls and emails with clients late at night, as well as training twice a day. It can be a lot. Some days I'm fatigued to fuck.
So your message to those that are parents, those that are working full-time jobs, that they find their life demanding, but want to train.
There's always time for it. You know, if you want something so badly, I'm not being one of them guys that are like, but...
Because it's not easy for all. If you're a mum and you're a full-time parent, single parent.
Anyone doing it, anyone even, people that are managing to train even, with having kids and a full-time job, whatever job it is, you're doing well. Just keep, you know what I mean? You should applaud anyone that wants to turn up every day to better themselves. Then it's not easy regardless. But with this training, some weeks better than others. Go on.
And what I will say is, I just want to take you back as well, just giving that advice to others as well. Baby steps, right?
Yeah, baby steps. Mate, you should see me in the swimming pool. Only now do I look a bit more like a fucking dolphin, mate. But my swimming's comical, mate.
Because say, for example...
I'm going to breaststroke this Ironman if I have to. I'll finish it. Even if I have to float on my back.
So you're a parent, you're not you, but if you're a parent and you're working full-time and you're toying with the idea of going to the gym because you just want to improve, a bit of self-love or mentally, what would you say to them? Because they don't have to just dive into the deep end.
No.
They don't have to be going gym 7 days a week.
I've started, like, recently, there's a few people have reached out to me and said, look, I've seen all this training, and like 2 of my mates they've just spoken to my coach and signed up with them. This is for triathlon specific, But forget triathlon. Like, it doesn't, not everybody has to go and do an Ironman, not everybody has to do a marathon, whatever. Just a walk, just being active, right? What we know full well, what it can do for your mental state. Being physically active, it's better than any fucking pill out there.
And this is why I believe it's great for children for discipline.
100%.
Whether you're going to a boxing gym, whether you're able to go to the gym, whether you start running or walking, to occupy your mind. The mental side of it is much more than the physical side of it, which I emphasised earlier. And if you're able to go to the gym when you go boxing, this will take you away from the shit, right?
It certainly will. Like your mind will always give up before your body. Fact, right? And when you're in them dark places thinking, I can't do this. Like, mate, when you done that half marathon, you smashed it. Like, 10k in, you were feeling it a bit, weren't you? You carried it on because your mindset, because you're a strong-minded person, bro.
They say it's mental, don't they?
It's
mental.
It is. It's like your body will give your mind will say no, stop. I've had enough.
And then the sense of achievement,
100%, mate. Like, there's nothing out there.
There's no better feeling.
There's no
right?
drug. Yeah, there's no money. There's nothing else that can bring you that feeling at all. And that's the point. That's what, the more people that get active, it will take you away from a whole other heap of shit as well, right?
Yes, of course.
You with me on that?
Of course. So you would encourage those young adults, teens, to do something with their life, and training certainly would be one of them.
100%. Like, for example, like I said, my son is doing boxing, football.
Good.
I take him to David Lloyd. He plays rugby. He's a big old lad, so he loves his rugby. Saturday, he's now pulling me up on this, and I'm really it really meant a lot for me because I said to him, look, we're going to start racing. So we're doing a 1 kilometre race, right? But I bought him a Thanos toy, I said, at the end of it, like, I'll even hold it out in front of him while he's running, saying, look, 100 more metres, he's going to get past that finish line. But he's now pulled me up. I was meant to do it last Saturday, we got busy, we went to the zoo, whatever. He said, Daddy, one thing you forgot, we didn't do the race. And I went, oh, mate, come here. Like, that was powerful. So this Saturday, we're going to do it.
Perfect.
I'm going to have the watch in. I just bought him some little running shoes, some hybrid Hockers.
And I love that.
Oh, mate. So like that's the inspiration that younger people need, right?
So I have to ask you this question. So the next question, we're going to move on briefly, is tell me about your nutrition. Yeah. Because I'm your nutritionist, right?
Yes, you are. A very good one. In fact, I've got you to thank for that. Yeah. And you know what? For a long time, I've been on my diet, but not like yourself, right? Yeah. You're a master of your art in that sense, yeah? And obviously you've just done me a plan now, I've pestered you and you got it done in the end. No, thank you for that. But I would always use you for my nutrition, 100%. Yep. And I'm on this plan now and I'm going to do this for the next 10 weeks to see, I want to try and push things to the next level, right? And nutrition is your biggest, nutrition and sleep are probably even bigger than your training, right? Let's have it right, That's it. So I'm going to stick with this plan now, to the T, to the gram.
Yep, I hope
weighing up different types of bits now.
And we're going to see your progress.
And we're going to see the progress. But I want to now change this, not egotistically, but I now want to see what shape I can get my body into. Not just the fitness side of it. So I'm trying to, it's quite a hard task, right? Of course. But no matter, better man for the job.
No, that's it. Thank you. Okay, so you've transitioned into Ironman from being a villain. You chose a certain lifestyle, but now you're choosing a different lifestyle. So we touched on it earlier on, but you're now working with young children or adults.
Essentially they're young men. Yep. So it's through a company called Aspire to Change, who I know the two owners of that company. Okay. Very, very good lads. One of which has been where we are. He's doing the same thing. Very, very good talker. But so it's for the Youth Justice Service, right? Okay. And all of these kids, where I was, they've all been arrested. They've all been in trouble with police, and now they're on orders that permit them to come on these courses, like I did. So you're giving back, basically? I'm giving back. So where they are is exactly where I started. Yes. But I was a bit younger. These kids are 17, 18, whereas I was 14, 15. I had my first order at 12, which is nuts. Reprimand order. Then I had the final order. And then a referral order. Referral was my middle one. 13 years old on a referral order. It's madness, right? Like, so these kids are a bit older, but me sort of now working with these kids, I truly believe like these kids can do so much. They really can. They're capable kids, but they just need a bit of guidance. And we're going to the gym tomorrow, funny enough. We're talking about what fitness and training can do for you, right? Yeah. And mate, you're one of the biggest advocates I know for that, mate. Do you know what I mean? And so now we're going to the gym tomorrow, and they're all talking about they want to join a gym. They want to find work. And the whole point of this course is we have different things each week, different categories. It's the whole point is to find them employment. That's the whole point. And
do you feel, just going into politics, I don't like to talk about politics.
Yeah,
do you feel
mate.
That the government could do more? Do you think they could help fund these kind of programs? Well, of course, they are funding.
It's funny you say that because...
But what about gym memberships? You know what?
Yeah. Mate, bang on. Like, that was one thought of mine. I even said to the provider of these courses, the two gentlemen I know, I want to pay for their gym membership. It was a pure gym. Yeah. Some of them are £14 a month. I said, look, I'll pay for that for 3 months maybe for all of them, just to get them some continuous gym. Like, if they stick to it, they're big men they're old enough to have a job.
And I think it takes about 90 days to form a habit,
exactly right?
So if we give them three months membership, 90 days, hopefully they'll form a habit.
Absolutely.
And that would be their new chosen
And if they chose to then keep that on and we know what fitness can do for someone.
It keeps you out of trouble, right?
100%, mate. Like, look, If I weren't in the gym, I'd probably be in a pub. I'd probably be getting up to no good. I'd probably be doing drugs again or meeting the really wrong people. When you have something in your life that you know gives you more than you're going to give to it, such as training, mate, it's a powerful feeling, mate. It really is.
And I'm glad that you're able to give back. For you've learned, you know, from your wrongs in life, and now you're choosing to do something right. You reflected on what you've done, and now you're trying to your very, very best to give back and hopefully help these people, these young adults, these teens, see the better path, take the better route in life.
Absolutely.
And I think that's a great thing.
What it is, I really believed in lived experience, right? So you and me, we've lived that life. We've been there, we've done it. We've done the prison, we've done all the rest of it, we've done it, yeah?
Mugs game, right?
But it's mugs game, mate. What are you going to gain from it? Just a long prison sentence.
That's right.
Being hospitalised, even death. You're not going to gain anything but that, right?
So tell me your definition of a tough man, a strong man.
A definition of a tough man, a strong man. Somebody who is emotionally secure in himself, provides, you know, a family man. Someone, if you've got a family, like, okay, not everyone's blessed with that, but providing for your family, being there for people, being there for your friends and families that you care about, and keeping a good circle, good values. It's not about money. If you're doing well in life, if you've got a good business, if you've got whatever going on and you're doing well in life, fair play. That's brilliant. But as long as you're trying and you have got something that you're working for, you know, that's my definition, I think, of a good man. Somebody with good values and supports family.
Not a man that's...
not a man that's selling... He's not smashing it, selling all the, you know...
And
driving around...
And sitting in jail.
No.
Waffling.
No, absolutely not.
That's
Telling all the stories.
That's certainly not a strong man, right?
Yeah, 100%. I think being a strong man, believe it or not, now we're going to get deep here. This is a bit... Because I'm sort of on this journey myself. I'm really trying... I think a strong man is somebody that knows their own self, right?
Okay.
Once you can find out what's going on in here, you can unlock so much more potential, I think. And it's a fucking hard thing to do, right? Like, we've all been through shit that we bury as a man. As a man, you're taught to bury it. Or you're not taught, but there's survival mode. The years you spent in prison, you go into survival mode. You cut off feelings. You can make yourself a cold-hearted person.
You have no choice.
You have no choice, because otherwise you're going to lose your mind in this, right? So you shut off a side of you that is sometimes very hard to get back. You'll always be you, but emotionally you can become unavailable. And that's the one key thing that I've been trying to work on, trying to find out and be emotionally available. And it's tricky, but I think I'm slowly getting somewhere, you know? So that's a key for it,
So the objective is to become a better man.
Become a better man.
Always.
A better parent, a better man. And we can always do better, right? Every day we can try and be better.
And of course, and to help others to better their lives.
100%. And I think helping others... Especially if you can give back something where you've been in a bad place. If you can pull someone out of that, that's a good thing to do.
That's
right?
it.
Yeah.
Right, should we close this off? Is there anything that you feel that you haven't said today that you would like to say to others, or do you feel that you've said enough?
I don't know. I think we've done all right.
Yeah, well, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah.
Always.
Thank you, mate. I appreciate you having me on, big man. Thank you very much, my boy.
Thank you.